Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be creating a tutorial on the look that I have on right now. This look is actually a look that I posted on Instagram 2 weeks ago. This one right here. A lot of you guys requested that I make a video on it, so I recreated it for you today with a tutorial. Obviously, this is a very like fall-ish or winterish look. It's a smoky eye with a vampy lip, but honestly, I don't do my makeup based on the season. Sometimes I get inspired by the season, but I don't necessarily do it for a particular season. I would wear this makeup anytime during summer. You know what I mean? I wanted to recreate this look for you guys and do a tutorial on it, so let's go ahead and get started. First, what I'm gonna do is put a piece of Scotch tape on the outer edge of the eye. This is just gonna help make it easier to kind of smoke out this wing thing. Some people, like whenever I watch Desi's videos, she just like cleans it up with concealer to do like the wing thing. That's kind of hard for me. This is easier for me to do, so that's why I just like to use tape. So I'm just adding it right here on the outer edge. Okay, so now I'm going to apply the eyeshadow base, and I use the same one in every single video. It sounds so redundant when I say it over and over and over again. But this is the Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC, my favorite eyeshadow base, and this is a Luxie 120 brush. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start layering on the shadow. And the first color that I'm going to use, which is going to be my first transition shade, is a Makeup Forever Shadow M664. It has kind of like that reddish orange undertone to it. So I'm going to add this onto the lid using a B Pro tapered blending brush. This one's really similar to like a MAC 224. I've been loving this lately just to get like a really nice blended look. So now I'm going to be taking this shadow by Anastasia Beverly Hills Sienna. This is one of my favorite really warm reddish shadows to use. And then I'm also going to be using one of my fluffier MAC 217 brushes, and I'm going to be adding this on, kind of mimicking the same shape that I did the Makeup Forever shadow, just dropping it a little bit lower. Okay, now I'm just going to come back in with that B Pro tapered blending brush and lightly buff everything together, just that way it's nice and blended. But this color is from Nars. This is a shadow I bought a long time ago. I just didn't really use it that often. This is in the color Mekong. I hope I'm saying it right. Probably not. So what I'm going to do with this shadow is just pack it directly on the lid and start buffing it upward towards the sienna. Mekong. Nars Mekong. Mekong. So I'm going to keep this a little bit below the crease. You see, like my crease is, I mean, you can't really tell all my creases. It's right there. But I'm going to keep this color a little bit below, just that way. Is this? I'm wondering if I accidentally put black eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep it right below the crease. That way I can buff in a dark brown shadow into the crease, just so we have something like a little bit more subtle of a transition. And I'm going to be taking a dark brown matte eyeshadow. This one is from Makeup Geek, and it's called Mocha. And I'm just going to be adding this directly into the crease using really little strokes, just that way I can get like more of a kind of like a gradient tapered look. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more of that Nars shadow right closest to the lid. I mean, this eyeshadow is pretty much black, so we don't even have to do like a black shadow. I swear it was not this dark last time I used it. All right, here we go. Taking off the tape. Taking off the tape. Yes. Ah. Oh, yeah. For wing liner today, I'm going to be using the NYX liquid eyeliner in black. I don't know, I've actually been liking this one lately, but this one actually makes it so it's not as jagged. It makes it really smooth across the lid, so that's kind of why I'm liking this one. I'm practicing just that way I get better at it, but yeah, anyway, we're just going to be tracing this line and making a huge wing, basically. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and put on some mascara. And today I'm using this really cute Tarte eyelash curler that I got. It's so like bouncy, which is what I really like about it. And for mascara today, I'm going to be trying out the Benefit Roller Lash. This is in the color Black. I've heard a lot of good things about this mascara, so I'm excited to try it out for you guys. Here's... Okay, and for lashes today, I'm going to use the same one that I used in the picture, just that way it's the same, obviously. I'm using the Koko lashes. These are Goddess. Okay, so now as my lashes are kind of like the glue's drying a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off some of the fallout that I have. And I did put on a little bit of under eye concealer before I started my eyeshadow, just that way I could get in this area because I have like a lot of blue in that area. And I did already prime my face too, just that way you guys know. Today I used the Baby Skin by Maybelline, the Instant Pore Eraser. This is one that I like to use when I feel like my skin is really dry, and I can tell when I put concealer on, like in this area, it just looks kind of like eh. And I'm just going to put a little bit more on because I'm going to add some more concealer around the eye area. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit more concealer under my eyes, and I'm using the NW20 Select Cover Up from MAC. So I'm just going to be adding it on with a Crown. This is a Crown concealer brush. It's just one of my favorites. And then buffing it out with a MAC 130 brush. As you can tell, I am like embracing my natural skin tone right now. So for foundation today, I'm trying something totally new that I've never used before. I told you guys I just bought a bunch of foundations. So today I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. I've heard so many good things about this one. I did pick out my color online, and I wanted to go with like my actual skin tone. I always tend to go a little bit more tan with my foundations, and the reason for that is because, well, I just want to be tan, but also because I have been doing so much self-tanning lately. But right now I am like my regular fair skin. So I'm going to be using the shade Light Sand, and this is light skin with yellow undertones, which is me. So the only thing is, when I did swatch it on the back of my hand, and my hand is pretty like moisturized, it doesn't feel very dry, but it looked kind of like drying on my hand. So I'm going to spritz a little bit of Fix Plus from MAC on my face, just that way it's like a little bit more hydrated. So here is the texture, or what it looks like. It's pretty thick. It almost looks like a whipped, it looks kind of like a, I don't know, it just looks whipped. This is first impression, guys. I've never actually put this on my face before. I'm always really, really nervous to try out new foundations because you just never know what's going to happen, you know? Okay guys, I just finished putting it on, and I don't really know how I feel about it at this moment, at this juncture in my life. But the foundation seems pretty nice. It does have kind of like a moussey, thick texture to it, so I don't know if I love it for my particular skin, but I need to let it set in and kind of chill for a minute and like marinate into my skin, because sometimes when I put foundation on right away, it does look a little bit like it kind of brings out the drier areas, but that's usually what happens at first with foundation on my skin, and then it kind of like blends in better and kind of sets. I'm just gonna let it sit and chill for a second. Okay, so now to highlight my skin, this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin, and this is the shade Light with a warm undertone in it, and I'm just gonna add it in areas that I would highlight. Okay, so now to set underneath my eye area, I'm going to be showing you guys this new powder that I got. This is a powder that I Love Sarah He recommended to me. Oh my god, I know I died. So this is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And I have heard so many different things about like different Laura Mercier powders. I myself am getting confused. I'm trying out this one for now just to see how I feel about it. I've already used it a few times. It is really nice around the under eye area to help prevent creasing. And you guys know I've been using the Ben Nye Cameo, the luxury powder, for like since the beginning of time. So I want to try something else out besides that. And to apply the product, I'm going to be using this Zoeva brush. This is a 126 cheek finish brush. So now to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the MAC NC30 Select Sheer Press Powder. Powder I've been using for a really long time. Still one of my go-to setting powder colors, or setting powder powders. And I'm applying it with a Sigma F30 brush. All right, so now I'm going to be doing a little bit of contour. See how I'm saying it right? Dizzy taught me how to say it, which is great. So I'm going to be doing a little contour on my cheekbones. And yeah, so I'm going to be using the NYX Contour Kit. And this is still this is like my go-to palette. I just really love it. So I'm going to be using this shade right here. I'm not even adding more product here. I'm just using what's on the brush. So this is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion, and this is in the shade 25, I believe it's 25i. So here it is right here. I just thought this was a really nice color to use for me right now. This is the Bare Minerals Full Flawless Face Brush. So I'm going to try that out. I feel like this is going to be a good one. Alright, so I feel like that's good for bronzer. I don't want to like overdo it, even though I want to. I'm not gonna. Alright, so I have to keep going back and checking this picture, like my actual makeup details, to make sure I do the same makeup It said I wore Luminoso blush. I feel like Rose D Oro would look better with this than, right? I think so too. I agree with you guys. All right, so now we're gonna do a little highlighting, and I'm gonna be using the Girlactik Face Glow in the color Natural. This is one of my faves. As you guys know, I use it all the time. I like to just put a little bit right here on my forehead, just to give me a little, just a little, you know, something. And then a little down the nose. To highlight my cheekbones, to do like a crazy one, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpt Duo. This is number 2. I go back and forth between number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is like the pink one, but it's like hella bright. It's like when you want to have your highlight look insane. That's when I use number 1. This is the more goldy one. It doesn't show up like as insane on me as it would if you had a deeper skin tone, but this is like more of like kind of a warm, subtle highlight. So I'm pretty happy with this foundation. I know at first I was like, I don't know. I just had to like get used to it, and the monitor's throwing me off. But I really like the way that the foundation came out, the Tarte Amazonian Clay one. I think my skin is a little bit drier right now, so it didn't look as good at first, but now that my skin's kind of warming up to it, it's starting to look better. And I also am so excited about the color because like it actually matches my whole body. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish the bottom part of the makeup. You know what's driving me crazy is how shiny the glue is right now, so I'm going to make it not shiny. I'm using the Bare Minerals Soft Focus Liner brush. This is one of my favorite smudging brushes, and Urban Decay Blackout Shadow. And I'm just gonna kind of like dab it right on top. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for the lower lash line is pretty much replicate what I have on the top. So I'm going to use the warm Makeup Forever shadow first and do it like the lowest, then Sienna, then the Nars eyeshadow on top. But since the Nars shadow is so dark, I'm gonna use a skinny brush instead of this one. But for everything else, I'm using the MAC 219, which is a nice little pencil brush. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my waterline now. And normally, well, you guys know I love the LA Girl pencils for the waterline. I wanted to use dark brown, but I can't find it in my mess that I have in here. So I'm gonna use the Tres Jolie NYX pencil. And this is the gel pencil in the color brown. So I like to just put on the mascara, and because my lower lashes are a little bit longer, so they kind of touch my lower lid area. So I'm just using this little spoolie thing. This is actually from a brow pencil, but I just use it to like make sure it doesn't touch. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna brighten up the tear duct a little bit, just a little shine. It'll help to make the eyes look a little bit brighter and like more open and all that jazz. So I'm going to use one of the new Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. I want like a bright, like a warm bright one, you know? So I'm gonna use this one. This is Magic Act. Okay, so now for the lip color. This was, I feel like this is like my favorite part of this look, or this is what brought the look together. So the lipstick that I use is Dose of Colors Brick. This is part of the Terra Collection. It's obviously a brick red shade, so it's a really warm, kind of brownish, really pretty red. Anyway, so for lining my lips today, I'm going to be using Burgundy from MAC, which is Burgundy. So this is Dose of Colors Brick, really pretty color. And like I said, this is actually my favorite formula for liquid lipstick. Say hi, Zoe. Okay, so we just finished the lipstick. I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually just went and ate. It's pretty late now. It is almost midnight. This is the completed makeup look. I know a lot of you guys were requesting to see it, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Also, after I went to In-N-Out, John and I made him take me to Rite Aid before they closed, and I went and bought every single shade of L'Oreal Infallible Foundation that they had. I want to do a whole video just on L'Oreal Infallible Foundation because you guys know I really, really love it, and I figured I have 3 or 4 shades already, and I wanted to do like swatches just to help you guys out, to help you find your shade. It's really hard to swatch foundation shades from the drugstore, in my opinion, so hopefully I can show you guys what most of the shades look like, so that way you can pick it from there. But yeah, other than that, I will be filming a L'Oreal Infallible Foundation video that will be coming up really soon. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.